Today, I am going to talk about someone who was not a king, not a god, but a mere human being. Yet, in the war of Kurukshetra, the Lord Krishna himself stepped down to fight him. He is none other than Bhishma. Welcome back to my channel, Experiences of Life, the episode 1 of Bhishma's story, from the point of view or of the lens of human. Today, let us first understand the birth of Devavrata, how Devavrata became Bhishma, and how his life began. Long ago, in Devaloka, there were 8 divine beings known as Ashtavasus. One among them, Prabhasa, committed the greatest offense by stealing sage Vasu's sacred cow. Enraged by this act, sage Vasishta cursed all the Vasus to be born on earth as human beings. When the Vasus begged for mercy, Vasishta softened the curse. He declared that 7 of the 8 would be born only for a brief moment and would attain moksha immediately as they would be born to a divine mother, Ganga Devi. However, the eighth Vasu, Prabhasa, who had committed the greatest sin, was cursed to live a long human life on earth. That Prabhasa is our Bhishma. So, eight Vasus approached Ganga Devi and requested her to descend to earth and give them birth. Ganga Devi accepted their request. On earth, Ganga Devi met King Shantanu of Hastinapura. They fell in love. But before marriage, Ganga Devi placed one condition. That is, whatever I do, you must never question me. The moment you question me, I will leave. For this, King Shantanu has accepted Ganga Devi's condition and married. Time has passed on. Ganga Devi gave birth to a child and immediately immersed the child into the river. This broke King Shantanu's heart, but he stayed silent because of the condition Ganga Devi has kept. This happened again and again and again for 7 times. Each time the king suffered silently but never questioned her, fearing she will leave him. But when the eighth child was born, King Shantanu could no longer control himself. He asked her, "Why are you doing this? These are our children, my heirs too, and for the Hastinapura." At that moment, Ganga Devi explained everything. She told him about the curse, about the divine beings of Astavasus, and now and how she was giving them moksha. She said, "Now that you have questioned me and stopped me, I cannot end this child's life. I will take him with me, raise him, educate him, and return him to you at the right time." After saying this, Ganga Devi disappeared from the King Shantanu's life. King Shantanu lost his wife and son at that moment. Years later, on the banks of the river, when King Shantanu went for hunting, he met a young warrior. That young man was Devavrata. Ganga Devi appeared, returned the boy to the king, and said, "This is your son. Take care of him." Devavrata became the prince of Hastinapura. Years passed. King Shantanu fell in love again, this time with a woman from a fisher clan, Satyavati, daughter of Dasharaja, who is chief of fishermen. When King Shantanu approached her family to hand her hand in marriage, Dasharatha, the chief of fishermen, refused, saying, "Your son Devavrata will become king. My daughter's children will never rule. I cannot accept that." King Shantanu did not argue, as it is true, and he returned silently but heartbroken. When Devavrata came to know about this, he went to the fisher chief himself to convince them to let his father marry his fisherman's daughter. He had the same condition again. At that moment, Devavrata made a decision that would define his entire life. He took An oath: I will never marry, I will never claim the throne, I will never celebrate for life, I will protect this kingdom without becoming its king. That vow shook even the gods. From that moment, Devavrata became Bhishma, the man of terrible vow. Bhishma Pratignya. He sacrificed his throne, his lineage, his personal life, and his future, all for his father's happiness. From this story, we understand one thing clearly: the values we learn from those who gave us life shape every choice we make. Bhishma chose duty over desire, values over power, and sacrifice over self. In the next episode, we will discuss something more profound. But from this, what kind of questions were emerging when you heard of this story? As everything was pre planned, or everything happened because of cause and effect, or everything was just a coincidence? Think of it. Until then, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.